Hooray! Another mowing video with my new Eco 190cc twin blade mower that has been out maybe for a month, but I just got mine maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. So it's really new to me. It's only really mowed once and a half, would say, that. So it doesn't have a lot of hours on it. But we're gonna mulch today. Mulching seems to be everyone's favorite type of mowing. I usually just have the rear chute on my Toro Max, or I have the side chute on this. I don't bag because I just don't have the type of yard that I need to bag, and it also just speeds it up. I can go faster. I don't have to worry about anything. It just blows out the side, and I go from there. But this is a bigger mower versus my Toro Max, which is 163cc. This is 190cc, so it should blow through this. It just my wild vegetation yard, it just grows so rapidly in sun and rain, and we've had both of those. And so you got to mow it about every 4 days, or it just gets really crazy, and it gets real uneven and high in some areas and not so high in others, depending on shade, sun. So we're gonna mow my front yard today, knock this out. We're gonna be mulching. I am on the actual mulch one-handed lever adjust height of cut, which is awesome for this mower. So I'm on the 1, 2, 3 gate of that for as far as the height, so you can reference if you have this mower. There is, I think, one lower setting, but it is for basically lowering it almost down to the ground for the washing port. If you really wanted to shave your grass, I guess you could put it that mode, and you had really flat land, you could do that. But so I'm just gonna call it the third gate up for that. This is, I cannot reiterate how cool this is if you're not familiar with it. There are some other brands of mowers that have this from China. This is an American-made company, the Eco company. This is the Briggs & Stratton motor, but this is so cool. The height, the so quick and easy setting of the height adjustment is really a bonus for me. The 4 on my other mowers are a headache, kind of a pain to adjust, and they're not very straightforward. This is very straightforward, so you will appreciate that if you get this mower. There are a couple other brands, but again, they're from China, and maybe I don't trust their reliability over the years. I would think that this company, being a U.S. company in the Eco brand, lawn equipment for plus 40 years, that they've put quality metal parts in this, and everything's going to last. Even though it's more complicated, I think this should last if I have my track record with all my other Eco brand lawn equipment products. But we're going to get to mowing. That's what's important. So here we go. I started it back in the back. It started on the first pull. I trimmed some grass back there. So we're gonna it should start for first pull. Easy start or ready start mechanism on this makes it start auto choke. It's very easy to start. It's like in the mid 70s today, much lower humidity than normal, so very good time to come out and mow. And just a wonderful, beautiful day. A little bit about maybe 15 mile an hour wind. So just a little windy, but I'll take it. me to the segment that I just want to mention the plastic wheels on the Eco again. I've mentioned this in other videos, but I really dislike the plastic tread on the plastic wheels. Of course, all the wheels are plastic, but the tread on my Toro Max are rubber, and that rubber sticks to the concrete and the different surfaces like way better is all I can express. The plastic wheels or the plastic tread, when I get up along the curb or I'm in my yard and then there's the city street and I'm on the curb and I'm mowing down the curb and I'm trying to stay out of the street, the plastic wheels are just constantly slipping off the curb and potentially to where my blade would, go into the concrete and, tear up my blade. It's just over and over again, just slippery like ice. My Toro Max does not have that problem. Like, it just sticks to concrete very well and tracks very straight. So that's a major bummer that they put the plastic tread on the Eco. It should have had higher quality wheels. It has bearings, but I even think the bearings are lower quality because they just do not spin as smoothly as the ones on my Toro Max recycler. I just got these. I got a bee issue. Oh man, look, they're everywhere. They're gonna bite me if I don't. Look, they're everywhere. Okay, I'm getting out of here. Oh. And I come over here to find out there's another massive nest just in the last few days. gonna run out. Gotta be careful. I do not want to get stung. I do not like being stung. They turn into, the sting marks turn into sores, and they're very painful for about 5 or 6 days. Not fun. And I got, I came out in the yard this morning and there were thousands flying. It was like a massive swarm takeover. I had thought that something had happened to the trees, and there was pollen all filling the whole backyard and floating because of the high winds, and it was thousands of bees. I was amazed. I grabbed my camera. It took 5 minutes to get my camera all together, and I put it out, and there were a lot less, but there were still thousands in the air. All right, I want to recap again what I've noticed with this mower, and it's just my personal opinion, but you can believe my personal opinion or side with it, or you can totally disagree with it. But the mower is impressive. The actual engine is very impressive. It does not bog at all. It cuts through everything, where the other 163C Briggs & Stratton motor on my Toyo recycler, if I'm mulching, you'll hear a little RPM drop, and it'll raise up, and a little RPM drop, just depending on what type of substrate you're hitting, and it does bog down a little bit, but it never wants to just completely bog down and shut off. The 163C motor is a great engine. This is just a little bit more heavy duty, and so yes, this is a more powerful mower. But one thing that I continuously notice is that the mower is longer, and they did that probably from the factory because they tested it and they felt that the front end was pretty heavy. Even with this mower being longer than my Toro Max, it's a little bit longer, maybe 6 or 7 inches longer, and the handle goes out more. And that's to give you more leverage to pick up the front of the mower to turn. And this is one thing that takes more effort, is turning the mower and pushing the mower. It's just, I wish it was a little bit faster. You could obviously maybe change that just a little bit by the adjustment in the cable. But it is, I just think the Toro Max, I like that just a little bit better. It feels like I'm not having to push or use as much. This is still a phenomenal mower. I'm very happy that I have it. It's more powerful. It's a twin blade system. So I just wanted to talk to you about that. It definitely feels heavier and less maneuverable, and that's my opinion. But we're going to turn it up on its end and take a look underneath, because that's a big thing too. Because mulching, you can compact a lot of the damp grass in there in the inside underneath, and that will cause the mower to run differently. So let's take a look and see how clean it is underneath, and we'll do that right now. It's back in the upright stow position. This all looks really, really clean for mulching. I will say that the Toro Max recycler does collect a little bit more grass under there. Again, if the grass is really green, probably has a lot of moisture in it, at least mine does here in Texas. Not a lot of compacting of grass, but you did hear, if you listen to the audio, I hit a couple of rocks. And I live in an area called White Rock Lake, and underneath all this that we live on is this white rock. It's everywhere. And it comes up through the grass when it rains in different weather conditions. And one day you may not have rocks in your yard, then the next month you have rocks in your yard. And I hit a couple of rocks, and it sounded pretty gnarly, and it did quite a bit of damage to my blades. Took some pretty good nice chunks out for as quickly as I hit those right here on both blades. This has a dual blade system. It damaged and put big chips in both blades. So for me to take this off is going to be a lot more work, taking both blades off and re-profiling or resharpening, cleaning up some of this. This is a massive gash right here. All that's chewed up, and all this is chewed up. Right here and right here. That's really, really disappointing, because I like a sharp blade, and that's one reason why sometimes I just opt to use my beater lawn boy mower, because that I care less about. I just wish I had a more pristine lawn and I didn't have to worry about roots and rocks and garbage in my yard and loud vehicles. But that's it. So this is look underneath. It looks pretty good. I think that's important to look at the bottom of the mower and see how things are working. This area is pretty clean. This is your rear wheel drive. There's typically a belt that connects to your crankshaft on these, and that belt goes to the top of that motor that has a pulley on it, and that's what activates the differential and turns the differential, and then that differential distributes the power to the rear wheel. So this has a nice shroud underneath to protect that, and yeah, so there's a belt that you need to worry about, and over time that belt can get loose, or it can get damaged, or it could break and snap, and then you won't have any rear wheel drive or all-wheel drive or front-wheel drive.